For example, if they told you that they needed a 20-something-year-old talent for that role, you can make emphasis on your age because, of course, it's a selling point. But if whatever you're going to say in the interview is not going to be your selling point, you might need to take it out. So you might just say your name. My name is this. I'm seeking to get a role in this. My background is in social studies. I did that because I enjoyed this, I enjoyed that. I've currently worked in so roles. I'm seeking to transition into this role, and then I saw your job ad from your company, and I feel I'm the best fit because of XYZ skills I've built over the years. I have XYZ certifications, I have XYZ skills. I'm currently undergoing XYZ trainings, and that would be the summary about myself. Something as simple as that. Now you can tweak it. I always advise people to remain original. Please be original. You don't need to fret. Like I said, it's just a two-way thing. You're having a discussion, and HRs are actually not perfect people themselves. They just want to feel comfortable with the discussion or conversation. So try to make it very comfortable for both of you. Do not make it so awkward. Do not make it something that would feel as if you crammed anything. So please don't cram anything. Just rehearse with yourself what you like to say. Because the funny thing is, by the time you get to the interview and you settle down very well, you see that the answers will just keep coming. Because you are yourself. Nobody knows you better than you do. By the time you cram things, when you get there, you just start stuttering. So please be yourself. Who knows? They might just like you for who you are. And if you are trying to be somebody else or be what Google is telling you about, then it might be that they won't like you, or you come across as, oh, this lady is going to cram things. Okay, so that's the first question. Tell me about yourself. Try to talk about yourself in light of what they want. In light of what they want. Then two, what type of leader are you? Now, this is where you need to study your job description. This is where you need to study your job description. The job description that was quoted on the job ad. Because this is where you are going to pick a lot of things that they want. They would have written it there. We want a self-starter. We want somebody that does this. We want someone that is analytical. We want somebody that can manage teams. You will get to pick the kind of leader they want. And you get to analyze that job role and see where you fit in. You can't be perfect. You can't be perfect. But you see that value chain where you can plug yourself in and pick that thing that will wow them. You can be analytical, but you might not be so outspoken. But of course, you will pass for an analytical leader. Then there are different kinds of leaders. So you need to do a bit of research about the kind of leadership styles and look at the one that suits you and also suits the role. And if this is a job that you really want, I want you to see yourself in that job. I want you to internalize it. I want you can even close your eyes and see yourself working in that job role and see how you lead your team. And then you'll be able to answer that question of what type of leader are you. If they need a particular role to be filled and they need you to lead that team, what kind of leader would you be? Because the truth is, for me personally, I don't term myself as a particular leader. My leadership style is as it is required. There are some teams that would need autocratic leadership. There are some teams that would need democratic leadership. There are some teams that you just need collaboration. So there's also something called collaborative leadership skills. So it depends on your job role. It depends on the job description, and it depends on who you are as a person. So question number 2, what type of leader are you? So you need to find out yourself and think about thoroughly and do a bit of research about the leadership styles. But like I said, you don't need to cram anything. Just let the conversation flow in. Yes. And the next thing, what are your strengths and weaknesses? When it comes to strengths and weaknesses, you need to be very, very careful. This is not a time where you now go overboard trying to pump yourself up or trying to show that you are very weak in some areas. No human is perfect. I keep saying it, even the person that wants to interview you. Now, when it comes to this question, you need to actually downplay your weakness and emphasize on your strengths. And make sure that the weakness is not something that will be so catastrophic to the organization. For example, somebody that is weak financially, okay, you don't know how to manage money very well. You don't want to say that in an interview. You don't want to say that. You have to find a better way to say that. Or, okay, if you get angry easily, it's not something that you should be proud of saying. You can say, okay, sometimes I see that I slip into annoyance when the team's goals are not met according to deadlines. I'm saying the same thing as I get angry easily when somebody is not doing the right thing. But I'm not just saying it. I'm telling them that I get angry because of this, tying it back to the company's goals. So they will see, okay, this lady can, okay, bust out with annoyance once in a while, but of course, when we look at this for the company's good, and then it's a weakness, but you didn't hammer on it. But then you now emphasize on your strength. Oh, I'm strong in this, and please don't go for the I overwork myself before I rest or things like that. Let them know your real strength. I'm good with analytical data. I love interpreting data. I'm good with report writing. Strengths that are real, strengths that are applicable to the job, not I work late hours and I forget to rest. Those are not strengths. They know you've crabbed it. So just be real, and I can assure you, you ace this interview. And then the next question, what value are you bringing to the company? Yet again, this is where you go back to the job description. Look at the job description and plug yourself into that value that you're going to be delivering to them based on the job description. What are you going to be doing? What value exactly? And sometimes you can even make it quantifiable. For example, I'm into talent management and I'm into customer management. I'll tell them, hi, I'm into customer management. If you employ me in your company, I'm going to ensure minimal customer churn-out rate. I will ensure customer retention. I will ensure positive net promoter score. I will ensure that projects go smoothly and are managed effectively. Just tell them the value and tie it to your previous achievement. That's why, depending on how you've crafted your CV, if you've highlighted your achievements, this is the right time for you to actually emphasize on them very effectively so that they can see how valuable you are. Because the truth is, no employer wants to employ anybody that will be a burden or anybody that they have to stress themselves for unnecessarily. So it's something you need to just tidy up your end and narrow down to your achievements, what you want to do and how you want to do it. And then finally, how do you handle conflict? Now, this is a question, I call this question a setup question. If you're not careful, you're going to slip for. Now, conflict is inevitable in life. You cannot avoid conflict. But then, like I said, you need to study conflict management system. There are many types. There's the avoidance style, there's the confrontation. There are quite a lot. I think there are 4 of them, if I can remember clearly. So you need to study them and then narrow it down. So people they're evasive, and you don't want to come across as an evasive person. When conflicts occur in your team, are you someone that runs away? Are you someone that leaves the conflict? Are you someone that beefs people? They just want to pick those things from your conversation to see if you are someone that holds grudges. And because someone that holds grudges with people can't work in a team. So you need to tie up how you manage this conflict or handle conflict to how more of a team manager you are, how more of a team player you are. So if you are not a team player and you say, no, anytime somebody offends me, I get angry, people fight and scatter ground, then they know you're not ready. But try to respond in a way that's effective and be true to yourself. If you're someone that feels offended when there's conflict, tell them. Because sometimes I get offended when there's conflict, but I try my best to manage the outcomes. I try my best to ensure that both parties will actually have a common ground to discuss about it, to ensure that the goals before us are achieved, and then we can learn how to handle and deal with each other going forward. So you are saying the same thing, that you get angry when there's conflict, but then you're trying to tell them that even with conflict, work goes on.
2 hours later.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, though I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions.